Hey, good morning. Yes, up and at 'em, guys. It's Monday. That's right. October 21st of 2024. So what are we going to talk about today? I thought we'd talk about burnout and what are the signs of burnout. And you're saying, well, how can anybody be in burnout with a small engine repairs? Very easily. So stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back. My name is Eric, and yes, this is the weekday, Monday through Friday. Today is Monday, the 21st, and we also have it available on podcast as well. So, what are we talking about today? We're talking about where you get burned out, and that's where you don't want to be. And you're saying, well, how can you be burned out? Well, I find that your biggest burnouts occur in the spring of the year because the winter has been kind of slow and you're at a different pace, right? But now you gotta get that jackrabbit start, right? And every day you come in, you look out, and there's more units, and there's like you can't see beyond it, right? And typically with burnout, anyways, is you start losing track of days, of what day it is. You're starting to get grumpy. You're starting to get irritable. You're starting like, I don't want to go to work. All those things start coming in as a factor. And you guys that are shop owners and mechanics, pipe in on the comments because I think it's a real thing. I've burned myself out numerous times in this business to the point of where I just didn't care whether it continued or not. And we don't want you or I to be in that state of mind, do we? So how do we stop from getting burned out? And that is set your pace, slow it down, and you get done what you get done. Don't rush through it and make mistakes. We talked about how you're only as good as your last job. So you still have to have that stamp, whether you're a mechanic or the owner, right? And when you're talking about you're only as good as your last job, when you're looking at all those units, you want to make sure that you do quality work every time. And if that means taking a little bit more time and not getting as much done today, it's better to do that than start rushing things through the shop, making mistakes, forgetting to add oil. All these things come into play if you start stressing and burning out. If you start forgetting things, forgetting steps. You're not on cruise control. You need to slow it down enough so that you know that everything that you want on that unit with your stamp has been done and done to the best of your ability. Nobody's expecting you to be Superman but you. I think for the most part, we're our own worst enemies. We're the ones that demand the most of ourselves, right? It's not somebody else. You're going to have a customer complain once in a while. All right. But for the most part, good majority of your customers are going to be happy. And your customers don't want you burned out either because then you're going to start making mistakes on their units, right? So just slow it down enough so that you're making sure, and it's better if you have two people because the second person is checking on the first person to make sure that things are getting done the correct way. And you're helping each other balance it so that, you have to understand you can only get done with what is ahead of you. So, what are the ways we can do that? And that is, we talked about slowing the pace down, but it starts in the morning, guys, with having a routine so that you have some downtime to kind of wake up and get going, refreshed, and then evening knowing when to shut the clock off and say work is done and this is the separation between work and home. And even if you work from home, you need that separation. And how best do you get that separation? For me, anyways, is I unplug. And what do I mean by unplug? I mean, at 3 o'clock, my cell phone stays in the truck on the charger. I don't go and get onto another computer. Whatever is left at the shop will be there when I get there in the morning. If a customer needs to call, they can leave a voice message on my answering machine for my cell, or leave a voice message on the shop phone, right? That's what answering machines are for. And then I will get back to them during regular business hours. If you start, here's where I see a lot of times, because you have friends, family, and people that are on the road, or people that know that you don't live that far away from the shop, or the shop is in your garage, is they start showing up after hours and want to know if you can get them a part. Do you have it in stock, or this or that? And to me, it's being disrespectful, because I wouldn't go to someone's home, even a friend, if he had an automotive business, and then try to get him to go back to work and get something that I think I need. Well, it can't wait till tomorrow morning. Just think about that. You need to train your customers and the people, family and friends, that this is your job and this is your home life, and you're trying not to have the two of them come together to a point of where I don't mind if it's a Saturday or something like that, or a Sunday where I'm down to the shop anyways doing something, somebody shows up, that's fine. But if nobody's at the shop, that should be it. And we ran into that problem of where people were stopping at Claude's house and my house, wanting us to go down and do something or fix something in our yards, or try to diagnose something for somebody. So you need to have a disconnect. You need to be able to pull away. Do most of your calling in the morning when you're refreshed. If you need to call customers and stuff, do it in the morning. Don't wait till afternoon where you're starting to get cranky and everything. The other thing is, understand that you can only do what you can do. And that means if you're going to do 5 units today and wham bam, thank you ma'am, and you run into issues on the 5th one, it's not the end of the world. Get the parts ordered, set it aside. It'll be there in the morning. If you got the parts and you're almost to the end of the day, stop. Grab your parts, put it with the machine, and it will be there in the morning. Yes, you only get 4 units done tomorrow with that one in the SKU from today, but it is what it is. I can't stress it enough, because I see so many people, there's a difference between being a workaholic and being burned out. And burned out is where you start, where you could care less about the business, the home life, anything, because you're just either stressed to the max or you've been pushed over the edge. So just be wary of the warning signs, and start doing these things that I'm talking about. And what are things that you do with your shop so that you don't have burnout occur? Some of the things I've talked about in other videos is move half your customer base to the fall for a lawnmower service. Give them a discount. You're training your customers so that you're not overwhelmed in the spring. You have the spring rush, then the summer upkeep, and then the fall rush, right? So train your customers to come in the fall, and give them a better discount. And so you have decent amount of work year round. I know it's not going to be a long video, but post in the comments what you think and what you see, and certain things you think would be helpful to keep people from burning out. So on that note, you guys have a great Monday. We'll see you here bright and early tomorrow morning. Again, thanks so much for watching.